Oh, there you go, my coach. All right, we got Coach Oakley Watkins from the LCA Eagles, my Eagles. Coach, man, congratulations, Coach.
Coach,
I appreciate it. Thanks so
first off,
much.
Coach, no, we're not gonna do that. I apologize. I'm sorry I missed you last week, and he came over with that LCA shirt on like he's truly a fan. Coach, I apologize to him. There's only one LCA fan riding with you, and that's me. Dang
Hey,
y'all.
Bu, I know you're always with us. I told Truck last week we don't want him to pick us. We want him to keep
We
picking
don't.
elsewhere.
I said the same thing we do on the show. Please don't pick us. Please don't. Please don't pick us.
Hey, I'm
Hey,
right
Coach,
there with you.
Coach Walker, man, a lot of success for your first year. Of course, you've been around the program since Ethan was there, and and through our guy, the Riverboat Gambler, Coach Doug Charles, man. You've been close. You've seen the progress of this team and how they've grown, man. How's it feeling being assisted to being the man now?
For me, it's really not been a huge change. I was fortunate. I wish honestly more people would do this for head coaches. 6 years ago, when Doug took over as head coach, now it's going on 7 years. He had pulled me aside and said, "Oak, all great businesses have a succession plan in place, and I want to make sure that I'm helping set you up to be the next head coach here whenever that time is." And I think that's rare and speaks a lot to Coach Doug's selflessness, and he's still a part of what we're doing here on a daily basis, and is one of my biggest supporters. But he's been a friend, mentor, and confidant for me for so long. So to have that, for him to be extremely hands off for me as a coordinator, but continue to just give me more and more tasks that a head coach does over the years, has really made this transition for me an easy one. And that's rare. I don't know that a lot of places are going to do that type stuff, but I think it's made a huge difference for me and has allowed me to continue to grow over the last several years, and really has made the transition pretty simple for me.
Coach, I know that you're focused on this week, you know what I'm saying, but I want to revert back to last week's game. You guys had to come back, man, and what took place, man? Because I know a lot of people probably wasn't there, and a lot of people probably didn't see the game, but y'all were down and you had to come back. So, what was the process with that?
Yeah, when you play a team like Belfry where they run it, they really want to control the game and keep your offense off the field and just running right at you. We took the ball to start the game and got behind the chains on our first drive, which is something that this late in the year you can't do. And they jumped out to an 8-0 lead on us. Thankfully, we ended up scoring, making it 8-7, but they were still at 15-7. We got a late score at the end of the second quarter, which I think really talks a lot to the mental fortitude of our kids. Because when you're sitting on the sideline watching their offense just try and grind the game out, it's tough. It's tough as a play caller when you're not on the field. But I thought our kids really answered the call when it came to that. So we were down 15-14 at the half. Got a stop. We ended up actually being up 2 scores there in the third quarter, which I thought, okay, well, we're in a good spot here. But they busted 2 big runs. They made a great adjustment to something we had started doing in the second half, and put us in a position where we were down in the fourth quarter with 10 minutes to go, really. But our kids, they never wavered, and I think that's just a testament to the schedule we play. I say this all the time, like, well, you want to play in big games because you want to learn a lot about yourself. And I think for us, those games we played early in the year, our first 5 games and the non-district schedule were, as tough of a schedule as you can play. 3 of those teams are playing this weekend. 6A North Hardin was a top 10 team in the class all year, and then obviously Lexington Catholic had Murray on the ropes, and Murray's playing this weekend for a state championship. So those games, they iron sharpen iron mentality, help you when you get in big moments like that. Continue to just trust in who you are, and our kids have been there before and never wavered in that.
Were you anxious, as a play caller, are you anxious, what I'm saying, if someone's holding the ball like that and just grinding out the clock as an offensive coordinator, what's your mentality? Are you anxious? Are you ready to just get back out there and score as quick as possible? So, what I'm saying, you can get things rolling. What's that process as a play caller, as a coach?
Yeah, it's tough because I still call the plays, and that's been something I've called plays here the last, it's 7 or 8 years now, and those are we've played Belfry twice before. We've played some other Wing T teams that do that, which it helps and from a growth and maturity standpoint of the play caller. But it is hard. I mean, when you're not out there, you're like, okay, you're starting to say, well, am I going to get how many possessions am I going to get? And we've got a great coach, Morgan Newton, who played quarterback at Kentucky. He does a lot of the game management stuff for me because I think it's unrealistic as a play caller to fully understand how many possessions are going to be in the game. And he helps me with timeouts. So like that's somebody that I use as somebody that's a football savant and has been through it. And so he always helps me say, "Oh, you got about this many possessions left," which helps me as a play caller. But you do, I mean, it's hard not to kind of press a little bit when you're not on the field a bunch. That last drive of the second quarter is when I really felt like started getting back into a groove of it because they were just 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, and we're not on the field. So we took some chances that sometimes we don't take, just vertical shot wise, which you got to do that to make teams play off of you a little bit. But it was something I did feel like early in the game. I did press a little bit, but as things got going, we got in a groove, and our kids really answered the call. Really ended up being able to run the football downhill at them and some of the same sets that they get in, which I was really proud of our kids for doing that.
Another question. We haven't talked about Owensboro Catholic yet. Can you kind of, you know what I'm saying, talk about them and what have you seen on tape and kind of, trying to game plan against those guys?
Yeah, Coach Morris does a great job there. We played them back to back years. It's been about 6 years or so since we played them, 5 or 6 years. But he does a great job, and I've watched his teams on tape for a long time. Obviously, he's played for state championship the last couple of years, and had a great quarterback in Brady Atwell at that time. But Jermel Carruthers is their starting quarterback, and he's a real deal. I mean, you put on the tape, it pops. I mean, he can sling it all around the yard. They've got several receivers that make a lot of plays. They got a great running back as well. So a lot of people see the quarterback stats and think, well, they're just a team that can throw it around the yard, but they can run it too. I mean, they're balanced on offense. They're really explosive. And on defense, they've always been a team that have had really good get players in the secondary. They're more multiple in defense than they've been in the past. They traditionally were just a base 3-3 stack defense, and we'll give you some different presentations in the coverages. But this year they played some different things. They played 5 down linemen against Somerset. They were in 4 down, played a 4-2-5. Exclusive cover 1 last week against Beechwood. Not a lot of teams can do that. So I think that speaks to their ability to be multiple and versatile, but also be really dynamic on the back end from a defensive standpoint. So not a lot of teams in high school football can do that.
So what's it going to take for us to get this win, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think this time of year, like, you know who you are. I mean, that's the thing for us is like, I've told our team really since day one, like our goals were to first off win a district championship, second off win a region championship, and the third piece was when we accomplished those first 2 things is to compete for a state championship. And we're in that position because we've got a selfless bunch of kids that don't really care who gets the credit. And I think that's it's a hard thing to find in this day and age. Like I haven't had one kid on our team say, "Coach, why didn't I get these touches? Coach, why didn't you throw it to me in this situation?" This group's selfless, and that all goes back to what we've talked about since day one, back in July 10th, which is if we focus on ourselves and what we've got to do to be the best version of ourselves, we're going to be right there when it matters. And I think that's what our kids have done. So, I mean, football comes down to blocking, tackling, being selfless, playing for one another. And I mean, we were out there practicing today in the snow, and we're still doing tackling circuits. We're still doing quarterback, running back exchanges. We're still doing the things that got us here. And you got to be able to take care of the football this time of year, because when we played in the state finals the last couple times, we've turned it over, and that's something that the margin of error, and you all heard me say this last week, it gets smaller and smaller, and you play good football teams, you got to be able to take care of the football, and hopefully we can create some turnovers on our side. But you also got to be great in that third phase, which was a thing that a lot of people don't talk about. Friday night for us was Dean Hester. We had made them we went for it on 4th and 2. I gambled on it a little bit. We were on our own 35 in the fourth quarter. I just didn't want to give the ball back to them, make them use their timeouts. And Will and Dean Hester, our long snapper and punter, they're only talked about when things don't go well. And those
Yeah.
two stepped up so big in that moment to be able to punt it, pin them deep with no timeouts left. So you got to be really good in that third phase. And that's been something that also has cost us in big games in the past. And we were really good in those areas. It just didn't happen to be our night. So I'm confident in that group as well. And we spent a lot of time on that as well.
All right, Coach.
My coach. My coach.
Good luck,
Coach.
Coach. And we will be around, and take care, Coach.
Well, I appreciate all you guys do for high school athletics. Seriously, it is to spotlight these guys the way you do. It's pretty special. I know O was he was reffing I was coaching my daughter's kindergarten first grade team over at IM third, and O's out there giving his time back to those young people as well, which is pretty special to see that too. So, and Bu, yeah, I'm gonna tell you, your pep talk was played amongst our guys. They loved it. They love Coach Bu. So hopefully we can get this thing done and bring it back to Lexington. But if not, I mean, this game doesn't define you. We've got such a special group of kids off the field that I'm just fortunate to coach and being around it. So thank you guys again for all you guys do and the selflessness that you guys exhibit on a daily basis.
Oh man, thank you what you do, man. Pointing to my son, you and the LCA family. Y'all always be family to me, man. We definitely appreciate y'all.